Hello, I'm Carl Zeus, and this week on Youth Group, I will be your forecast manager. As you can see, the town of Madison, Wisconsin has been hit with some negative degree cold chills, and as a country, even Hawaii, it's had some freezing temperatures. And as I know Carter can tell, and is probably pretty sad about, the Chiefs have lost the Super Bowl. The spearfishing window is open, and the town of Carter, Baldwin, Wisconsin, there's a little close zoom up right here, has been hit with a major outbreak of coronavirus. So this week we will be having youth group as students. And back to you, Crazy Carl.
Hey guys, it's me, Carl. These are my tips for staying sane while in quarantine. Tune a banjo. Take a nap. It's one of the best ways to kill some time. Boost your confidence by fishing for compliments from a friend.
What about me do you like?
Call your Mama.
No, my mom. Planet of the Apes is not based on a true story.
Make sure to keep good hygiene. Google image TJ Maxx, just for the fun of it. Read a book.
The rum is always gone.
Tell secrets to your dog.
I killed a man.
Think of a new idea, like turning on a lamp. Become a peanut butter monster.
I'm a peanut butter monster.
Get to know your houseplants better.
I once ate 3 dozen eggs in one sitting. I haven't been the same since.
Scream. Take a nap. Start collecting cow manure. Wow, what a stack. But then realize you're not supposed to be outside, so quickly run back inside. Self-reflect. Is this really me? How did I end up in this body? What even is a body? And how are we all in these bodies on this giant rock floating through infinite space of nothingness? A dark, vast, cold, eternal nothingness. And then you realize how hungry you are. Cook an egg. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all these tips for staying sane while in quarantine. It's obviously helping me, so I'm sure it'll help you. Seriously, I've never been better.
Sometimes I'm afraid of the dark. To be honest, I've never seen a baby pigeon. I think Power Rangers is actually a really good show, and it was before its time. I haven't paid my taxes in 10 years. To be honest, I don't even know what a tax is. At this point, I'm just too afraid to ask. Turtles actually freak me out. To be honest, I lost my toothbrush about a month ago.
Hello and welcome to announcements. For our first segment, Jack.
New pastor. In case you haven't heard, we have a new pastor. Last Sunday, our congregation elected Reverend Dr. Jessica Patchett as our new lead pastor. We're very excited about this. Her first Sunday will be on Easter Sunday, April 4th. Make sure to come by, hear her speak, and maybe show some support.
Sledding, postponed again as it's winter in Wisconsin. New time, February 20th, 2 p.m., I Stand Park.
Coffee with Carter will be this week on Friday, 3:30 p.m., of course on Zoom.
For Bible studies, high school, Sunday at 12:30. Middle school, Sunday again, but at 1:30.
Thanks for tuning in to the announcements. Bye.
Bye.
You know, my favorite movie character, most would argue he is a superhero. His name is Kermit the Frog, because he's a frog and he talks really funny. There may not be any superheroes in the Bible, but much of it is supernatural. Scripture is filled with accounts of God showing up and saving the day in powerful, miraculous ways. Elijah was a man who was self-acquainted with God's ability to work miracles. Here's what you need to know about him. Elijah lived in the 9th century BC. You can read about him in the books of 1 and 2 Kings in the Old Testament of the Bible. Elijah was a prophet, which means he was sent by God to deliver messages to Israel, God's chosen people. King Ahab was the king of Israel, and he was not a great guy. He committed atrocities, murdered people unjustly, disobeyed God, and led the nation in worshiping the false god Baal. So God sent Elijah out to do something really difficult, to boldly oppose King Ahab and call Israel back to God. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Kendra, and I'm going to read 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 18 through 39. "Not made trouble for Israel," Elijah replied, "but you and your father's family have. You have abandoned the Lord's command and have followed the Baals. Now summon the people from all over Israel to meet me on Mount Carmel, and bring the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah, who eat at Jezebel's table." So Ahab sent word throughout all Israel and assembled the prophets on Mount Carmel. Elijah went before the people and said, "How long will you waver between the two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal is God, follow him." But the people said nothing. Then Elijah said to them, "I am the only one of the Lord's prophets left, but Baal has 450 prophets. Get 2 bulls for us. Let Baal's prophets choose one for themselves, and let them cut it into pieces and put it on the wood, but not set fire to it. I will prepare the other bull and put it on the wood, but not set fire to it. Then you call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of the Lord, the God who answers by fire. He is God." Then all the people said, "What you say is good." Elijah sent the prophets of Baal, "Choose one of the bulls and prepare it first, since there are so many of you. Call on the name of your God, but do not light the fire." So they took the bull given them and prepared it. Then they called the name of Baal from morning till noon. "Baal, answer us," they shouted, but there was no response. No one answered, and they danced around the altar they had made. At noon, Elijah began to taunt them. "Shout louder," he said. "Surely he is a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he is sleeping and must be awakened." So they shouted louder and slashed themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until their blood flowed. Midday passed, and they continued their frantic prophesying until the time for the evening sacrifice. But there was no response. No one answered. No one paid attention. Then Elijah said to all the people, "Come here to me." They came to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord, which had been torn down. Elijah took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes descended from Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, "Your name shall be Israel." With the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he dug a trench around it, large enough to hold 2 seahs of seed. He arranged the wood, cut the bull into pieces, and laid it on the wood. Then he said to them, "Fill 4 large jars with water and pour it into the offering and on the wood." "Do it again," he said, and they did it again. "Do it a 3rd time," he ordered, and they did it a 3rd time. The water ran down around the altar and even filled the trench. At the time of sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed, "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, and the stones, and the soil. They also licked up the water in the trench. When all the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, "The Lord, he is good, the Lord, he is God."
This is a pretty amazing story, right? It reveals that God hears our prayers, that he can be trusted, that he is powerful, and that he is the only God. You know you serve a God like that. It makes sense that you'd be ready and willing to take on big challenges. God called Elijah to do something difficult, but he embraced the challenge boldly. So I had some issues growing up. I know it's like kind of hard to believe. But so in 3rd grade, because of said, issues, I probably missed school once a week. And then I realized that there's no reason to be afraid of frogs. And then God helped me realize that Kermit the Frog is such an amazing character and that he deserves to be my favorite superhero. And here we are. Scripture never tells us that our lives will be easy, but it does tell us God will always be with us. We're all going to face seemingly impossible tasks, but like Elijah, we'll never have to face them alone. When you face your next difficult moment, you might respond with boldness and determination like Elijah did on Mount Carmel, because you know your God is powerful, strong, and trustworthy. But you're only human. You get tired and scared sometimes. God knows that. So maybe you'll face your next challenge like Elijah did in the very next chapter after that story, with fear and exhaustion. If you do, I hope you remember your God is gentle, kind, and never leaves you. When difficulty comes, you and I often react in unpredictable ways, but we can trust that God never changes, even when we do. So what does the story of Elijah reveal about who God is? And what does it say about who we are? You and me were created by a God who is good, powerful, strong, trustworthy, gentle, protective, and present. You are seen and understood by your Creator, who is always with you. No matter what difficulties or challenges you face, you are never alone or without help. If you ever backed away from a difficult challenge because you were afraid, tired, or overwhelmed, remember this: we can be strong because of who our Creator is. Because of who God is, we can do difficult things.
hey, didn't see you there. Thanks for joining YouTube Live today. Don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe, and of course, join us in the Zoom after party. Link in the description. I'll see you there. Why did I do that? Welcome. Thanks for tuning in and joining. Thanks for watching YouTube Glide. Okay. Helicopter. There. Thanks for watching YouTube Live with us today. Comment, like, subscribe, and of course, I'm out of frame.